Welcome back to the trial of James Comey, this Next Revolution special. We've looked at Comey's role in the Clinton investigation and at his leaks related to the Trump investigation. The next set of potential charges relate to the infamous Trump-Russia dossier. Now, 2 congressional committees have already found that the FBI knew the dossier was largely fabricated. Indeed, James Comey himself described it as salacious and unverified. The FBI also knew that it was paid for in part by the Clinton campaign and compiled by someone with a bias against Donald Trump. The FBI knew they needed the dossier to spy on the Trump campaign, and so they relied on it to obtain the FISA warrant anyway. Kendall and Harmeet have more on the charges here. This is so controversial, this Russia dossier, but again, let's focus on the potential laws that may have been broken. Kendall.
Well, I'm going to let Harmeet talk about the abuse of power, but certainly the question of making a submission using the most salacious, frankly, absurd information from political opposition research raises not only questions about misuse of power, but whether there's a fundamental falsification. And that can implicate all the laws about false statement as well as obstruction of justice. So we don't know the details of what was in that submission. What we know, though, is it was a submission to the FISA court, Foreign Intelligence
With James Comey's name on it.
With James Comey's name on it, of the likes that no prosecutor that I know of would have ever signed off on a submission like that.
Yes, and it was done repeatedly. And one of the statutes focuses on the rights of the person whose rights are being deprived, and that is Section 242, which talks about depriving somebody's rights, civil rights really, under color of law. And so where a government official knowingly and intentionally violates somebody's rights, and here that could include submitting a request for a warrant to the FISA court repeatedly, but omitting key evidence that the judge would want to know, and then that would be a violation of Carter Page's rights to privacy and Fourth Amendment rights and other rights as well.
And there's a perjury argument here too, isn't there? About the way that all this information was presented and described to the public.
Well, because it's inherently verified. It's sworn to when the submissions are made. And if you're using information that is not reliable and you're not making the appropriate disclosures to the court, that can obviously be a very serious thing.
Well, serious? Again, is it illegal? Kimberly, this whole dossier has caused so much debate. But again, let's focus on whether the charges we heard there.
Yeah.